Saturday. It is Saturday, August 22nd, 2020. Our three readings today for our daily reading. Psalm 124, Genesis chapter, I lost it. I hit the button a little bit too far. So let's re-back that up. Saturday, August 22nd, 2020. Psalms 124, Genesis 50, 15 through 26. And Matthew chapter 16, verses 5 through 12 is the New Testament reading. Let's take a listen in to the three readings. Hopefully I do it a little bit better than I did with the scriptures that we're reading. Psalms 124. If God hadn't been for us, all together now, Israel, sing out. If God hadn't been for us when everyone went against us, we would have been swallowed alive by their violent anger. Swept away by the flood of rage, drowned in the torrent, we would have lost our lives in the wild, raging water. Oh, blessed be God. He didn't go off and leave us. He didn't abandon us defensively. Helpless as a rabbit in a pack of snarling dogs, we've flown free from the fangs, free of their traps, free as a bird. Their grip is broken. We're free as a bird in flight. God's strong name is our help. The same God who made heaven and earth. Our Old Testament reading today is from the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verses 15 through 26, as we come to an end of the story of Joseph. After burying his father, Joseph went back to Egypt. All his brothers who had come with him to bury his father returned with him. After the funeral, Joseph's brothers talked among themselves. What if Joseph is carrying a grudge and decides to pay us back for all the wrong that we did? So they sent Joseph a message. Before his death, your father gave this command. Tell Joseph, forgive your brother's sins, all the wrongdoings. They did treat you very badly. Will you do it? Will you forgive their sins of the servant of your father's God? When Joseph received the message, he wept. Then the brothers went in person to him, threw themselves on the ground before him, and said, "We'll be your slaves." Joseph replied, "Don't be afraid. Do I act for God? Don't you see you planned evil against me? But God used those same plans for my good. As you see all around you right now, life for many people. Easy now. You don't have nothing to fear. I'll take care of you and your children." He reassured them, speaking from heart to heart. Joseph continued to live in Egypt with his father's family. Joseph lived 110 years. He lived to see Ephraim's son into the third generation. The sons of Machir, Manasseh's sons, were also recognized as Joseph. At the end, Joseph said to his brothers, "I am ready to die. God will most certainly pay you a visit and take you out of this land and back to the land he so solemnly promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Then Joseph made the sons of Israel promise under oath, "When God makes his visitation, make sure you take my bones with you as you leave here." Joseph died at the age of 110 years. They embalmed him and placed him in a coffin in Egypt. Our New Testament reading is from Matthew 16, verses 5 through 12. On their way to the other side of the lake, the disciples discovered that they had forgotten to bring along bread. In the meantime, Jesus said to them, "Keep a sharp eye out for the Pharisee, Sadducee yeast." Thinking that he was scolding them for forgetting the bread, they discussed in whispers what to do. Jesus knew what they were doing and said, "Why are these worried whispers about forgetting the bread? What believers! Haven't you caught on yet? Don't you remember how the 5 loaves of bread and the 5,000 people, and how many baskets of fragments you picked up? On the 7 loaves that fed 4,000, and how many baskets of leftovers that you collected. Haven't you realized yet? Bread isn't the problem. The problem is yeast. You realize yet that bread isn't the problem? The problem is yeast? Pharisee, Sadducee, yeast. Then they got it. He wasn't concerned about eating, but teaching. The Pharisee, Sadducee kind of teaching. Here ends our gospel reading, and here ends our reading for the day. Amen.